Welcome to the broadcast, everybody. We got some deer right in front of Mount Rainier right now. Mount Rainier in the distance, and the deer just passing by right here. Check that out. Isn't that wonderful? Hey, Tom, we got deer passing Mount Rainier. How about that? See if I can get this on the gimbal. There we go. Hey, Susan. Let me zoom this out, you guys. That was so cool to go live just as these deer were coming by on their trail. What a treat. Okay, you thought I was at Fort Casey. Yeah, Tom, I know you're a big fan of those deer moments at Fort Casey. Hey, Kit. I'm totally handheld tonight, so let's zoom it out a little bit. Hey, Janine. Hope you're having a good evening. We just had some deer pass by. In fact, I can still see them through the brush over here. Let me see if I can get them in the shot. There's one just to the left of that tree. You can see, there it is. Its head just went up. Oh, that's good to hear, Janine. Look, it's looking at us right there through the brush. It's got some nice lush grass down below there where it's grazing. How nice is that? Nice way to round out the day. Deer, frogs croaking in the distance. Hey, not a bad way to wrap it all up. Got to see my brother and his partner today. That was really nice. Steve and Sheila up north of Arlington. Finally got to see my brother's new house. That was nice. There's Mount Rainier. If you just tuned in, you were thinking, where's Mount Rainier? The title said Mount Rainier. Well, it's there. I just know it's not going anywhere until it gets dark. Okay, so I missed a comment from Dave apparently. Dave Abrahamson, your comment did not show up on my end, but I see you're being asked about it. Wonder why I didn't see it. That's odd. I was undecided where to do a little broadcast tonight. I was driving along the Snohomish River, was going to do it from the bridge in Snohomish where I get a really nice view of the sunset over the river, but a lot of noise and traffic. And I just thought, you know what? I'm going to come back up here because I got a sneak peek at the mountain and I could see it was clear enough out. Let's show you the barn. We'll keep it short tonight, just a few more minutes. See if we get any more surprises from Mother Nature. Was it Tom? I paid no attention. Good to hear that. So if they won today, I think they're over 500 now. Because they beat Minnesota yesterday, I think it was, in 10 innings, wasn't it? So I did check the standings for the first time. I brought this up before. I'm in Snohomish, kind of on the north end, northwest end. And You can see the lights. If you see any lights twinkling down there in the distance below, those are the lights of a state penitentiary. They were down 6-0 and 1-8-6. Wow. Thanks for the update there, Tom. Definitely getting a little nice low layer color. 5-4 on the season. Okay, there we go. Thanks, Tom. See, I've been slacking lately, you guys. I just come out with my gimbal. I don't have my DSLR on a tripod, and that would have been a really nice shot at the beginning of this broadcast when those deer were going right in front of the mountain. Okay, here's Dave. All right, Rainier has always reminded you of Mickey Rooney. Great commercials. Okay. I don't know why that didn't appear. Okay, so Susan, Dave is referring to. See, Dave and I are about the same age. We're about a year and a half or so apart. Thanks, Jolie. One, when we were kids in the 70s, growing up here in Washington State, there were these beer commercials for Rainier beer. And one of the many parodies that they did, well, there were two of them right off the top that really stand out. One was with the wild reindeer, and so you'd like see this mockumentary where they were hunting, looking for deer, but the deer were actually reindeer gathered in a herd and prancing through the forest. That was one. Susan says, "But I am older." Well, I think it was a regional deal, and Mickey Rooney was in some of these commercials. And then there's a real famous one with a motorcycle. Just a simple wide shot, pretty much. You hear a motorcycle coming, it comes in the shot, and it goes off in the distance, and it's just Mount Rainier beyond it. And so, but instead of the motorcycle sound, what you hear is a very similar sound to a motorcycle, and it just went Rainier beer. So kind of like that. That's the commercial Dave's referring to. And Mickey Rooney was in some of those spots, those commercials back in the day. I can zoom in more with my phone, but I think it's going to be pretty blurry. We'll see. Yeah, we'll bring it back out a little bit. Yeah, Susan, actually, if you go and just go to YouTube and Google Rainier Beer Mickey Rooney commercials, you'll find them. You'll find a whole bevy of them. And to us who grew up out here in the Pacific Northwest, they're kind of classics. I guess I put those right alongside Ivar's Fish and Chips and the Princess Marguerite in terms of commercials. Glenn Grant Chevrolet, Cal Worthington, although Cal Worthington and his dog Spot were out of Southern California, but they sold cars up here too. And some of the furniture stores. Just remember the Bob Uecker commercials, Tom says. Well, Tom, you grew up outside of these parts. As he got older, he became a real character. Who, Mickey Rooney? And Tom says, true. Oops, I tapped the microphone there briefly. Let's take a look to the west again. Head on a swivel. Got to keep an eye out for more deer. Semi truck versus pedestrian. I-25. Not I-25. That would be New Mexico and so forth. 128th Street in Everett to North I-5. Wow, it says serious injury. Yeah, he did marry numerous times. That's right. I remember that. Susan, you've updated your username, or it's just because you're joining from Facebook, perhaps, as opposed to Periscope. But I'm seeing your either middle name or maiden name now, as well as your last name North. There are the lights of the state penitentiary in Monroe, Washington there. Hey, Hockey Rules. Wonderful to have you here. Once again, thanks for checking it out. Randy Moore is on YouTube. Thank you for joining. And Susan says this is her Facebook name. That's why I see 3 names. How many in Washington? How many what? I lost my train of thought. Remind me, my friend. Hockey Rules and Randy Moore, when we started the broadcast, I'm so just catching myself from saying the word scope when I started the scope. But anyway, there were 2 deer, one after the other, that passed right in front of the mountain, and then they went off in this direction, just down below. So that was kind of cool. I mean, literally, I didn't. Just as I was about to press the start broadcast button, I saw them there and thought, oh, this is too good to be true. Cosmic Rose just saw the tulips in Japan in another scope. Very nice. I should get up to Mount Vernon here in Washington State to share tulips and daffodils soon. That would be great. Oh, the prisons. Yes, the prisons. Yeah. How many prisons are there in Washington? I don't know. I just know that those lights down there are that's a pretty hardened criminals, many of them in there. It's I believe it's maximum security as opposed to say minimum or medium security. Monroe, Washington. Imagine if you went to doc.wa.gov, so DOC for Department of Corrections, .wa for WashingtonState.gov. You can see a listing of the facilities. And Hockey Rules just saw a broadcast, a scope, it says here, on Hood River, Oregon. That is awesome. I'm looking around because I'm hearing some geese flying in the area. I'm just checking to see if they're coming this way or not. Illinois has a maximum security prison too. Wow. Just gonna look this way. Should have checked what time moonrise is tonight. Don't know if we're gonna see much of it if we have clear skies, but it was just a few days ago though. It was a waning moon and it was almost down to nothing. Tell you what, the people who live along this road, which from this, so not so much in this direction, but see how it bends this way? So it bends and heads west, and it rises just here. And there's a good stretch for about a mile or so. And the people on the left side of the road in particular, their homes have just stunning views, especially down toward this end, because once this hillside gets out of your view looking west, you get to see Mount Rainier. So that's really nice. New moon in Aries. Thank you for the update. Saw you in San Jose for a while. Not me. I don't think. No, I'm not sure what you mean, like watching a broadcast, but I don't think that was me. Sometimes you get that beautiful purple light in the evening. Alpenglow, isn't that the term? We had some nice light purples a bit earlier. It's hard to even grab a focus now. And so here we are at Monday already. Here, I'll flip it around. Jolie says, I checked according to DOC, has 12 facilities with custody levels. So I wonder what down the hill here in Monroe, whether that's medium or maximum security. Walla Walla, I would think, is probably maximum. I'm looking to keep looking just beyond the camera because it's always possible more deer will pass through. It's getting pretty dark though. It doesn't look so dark though here on the phone. I'll flip it around again. Cusco. Cusco is a prison? That's in Costco? I know that's not what you meant. There we go. Cosmic Rose says, I asked, were you? Okay, no probs. Memory of some other photog in San Jose then. Ah, no worries. No, yeah. My mind goes far to faraway places when I hear San Jose. For me, San Jose brings back memories of the North American Soccer League in the 1970s, the San Jose earthquakes. That's where my mind goes. Crazy George. I think, Tom, we've talked about him perhaps before. No, it wasn't you, it was a coworker of mine. San Diego had its chicken, and San Jose had Crazy George beating a drum at sporting events. Willie Jondon. Do you know the way? That's very good, Susan. That is a beautiful, isn't that a Burt Bacharach song sung by Dionne Warwick? Correct me if I'm wrong. Dave Abrahamson, you music aficionado, you can let me know. Susan says yes. Dionne Warwick's pretty active on Twitter. She's developed a nice little following and shows a sense of humor. Sing it, Mark. Do you know the way to San Jose? Ba-da-da-dum-bum-bum-ba-dum-bum. San Jose State Spartan fan here. Ah, you're actually a Spartan yourself. That's really interesting, Cosmic Rose, because see, I grew up a Washington Husky fan, and it always seemed that they would have their first game of the season, non-conference, against San Jose State. I was a good sport there. Yeah, I can't really sing, but I'm not letting that stand in the way of satisfying your requests, if you want to call it singing anyway. I tell you what, driving around just before sunset, I found some stretches of these bare trees that haven't had their leaves come on yet, and I was just struck by how many birds' nests I was seeing. Susan, I do not go on Twitter much. Yeah, you've told me that a time or two. Do you hear the birds here and there? They're pretty talkative at sunset, now into twilight. Your boyfriend was at Stanford. Ah, Tom says he goes on Twitter too much. So Stanford and San Jose State situation. I guess that would be a little healthier than Stanford Cal, I would think. That seems to be an even more intense rivalry, if you will. Well, guys, lovely chirpers. Good, you hear them. One of the things I like about this spot, in addition to just being alone, an occasional passing car, is I can take my mask off because there's never going to be anybody else here to talk to me. And the other thing is I get a great cell signal, as the HAPS app is telling me right now. It says great with 5 bars. So that's really nice. Oh, heck yes. It's probably regarding the rivalry. All right, my friends. Well, thank you very much for watching. This was a lot of fun. A nice way to cap off the weekend. It's been busy lately, but I've been managing to get online a bit more, and I haven't been doing any shooting or any video editing. Just this quick and easy kind of sharing of what's going on in front of my face with wildlife or nature. I hope that you enjoy a bit of it. It's nice to connect with you and have these opportunities to engage with you and get your responses like about where you went to school and things of that nature. So thanks a lot for watching. Hope to see you again soon. Take care, everybody.